everyone, so today's video is all about things you should do before going to university. I thought as it's coming up to September and a lot of people will be going to uni for the first time, I would do a sort of checklist of 10 things not to forget before you go. Most of these are common sense and you will have done them or will be planning on doing them, but I just thought I'd put them all in one video just in case anything was forgotten. Okay, so the first thing I've got down is to sort out your accommodation. This definitely varies for different universities and everything like that, but usually you have to apply for accommodation separately to applying for your course, so don't forget to do that. Don't forget to sort out where you're going to live. If you haven't got a place in the accommodation you're planning on living in, you'll need to sort out a house or staying with a host family or something like that. You'll need your plan B option, but obviously this is something that you will sort out before you go to university, but I just thought I would have it as number one on the list. I guess coming from that, my next thing is to make friends or meet the people you're going to be living with on Facebook. I actually didn't do this before I went, but a lot of my housemates did, so a lot of them knew each other before they actually met, and I think that was probably very good in the long run. I personally didn't do it when I went into first year because I didn't want to sort of have my first impression be my Facebook account, but looking back I think I would have much rather, you know, met people or spoken to people on Facebook beforehand, just because you can relax a bit then, you know kind of what to expect, you've already kind of made a friend. I know that it was really nice for them, the people that did meet in my flat, because they were all messaging when someone got there first to the house and, you know, showing what halls look like, and they were all just chatting on this group chat. So there's always pages on Facebook for the different universities and their halls. So I found one that was called like Exeter Lafrowder Accommodation, and on that Facebook page everyone was posting, you know, I'm in block R, and anyone that was in that block was commenting their room number, and everyone was just kind of meeting and making friends that way, and then group chats formed and people just started to get to know each other, so that's really nice. And if you can find that sort of thing for your university accommodation, I would definitely recommend doing that. Also, what's really handy about knowing some of your flatmates is you can kind of discuss freshers and what events you're going to go to. So I didn't have any idea what my flatmates were doing, so I just bought a couple of tickets to events that I was kind of interested in, and I think I didn't end up going to either of the ones that I bought. I think I sold both those tickets on, but I would definitely recommend checking out what your university has going on in freshers, whether that's like club nights or the little socials and things that societies put on. So just have an idea of what's going on and what societies you might want to have a look at when you're there. The next thing that also follows getting your accommodation is to get a unpacking slot. So again, I don't know if this is at every university, but I know it's at quite a few. So usually when you're moving in, you'll be given a time of what time to move in at, and that's when you have your car park space and you can park and unload all your stuff to your accommodation. So I would definitely sort that out. I'm sure you'll have emails about it from your university. But don't forget to do that. Make sure you actually book a slot, because it means you can unpack all your stuff outside your halls. You won't have to lug everything across campus, and it just makes things a lot easier if you've sorted out what time you're going to be there. This is another thing that's going to completely differ between courses, but I've written to look at your reading list. Not every course is going to have a reading list. A lot of them won't, and a lot of the ones that do might not even tell you until you're at university. So I wouldn't stress too much about this at all. I think I've mentioned in previous videos that I personally didn't buy any of the books from my reading list because they were all at the library and I was able to take them out when I needed them, and it saved me a lot of money. That's going to differ for other courses. I know that a course like English, where you're going to need to read books, if you can have a look for some of those books beforehand and, you know, be on top of it before you even get into university, I think that's a great idea. If your university has an app, I would recommend getting that before you go as well. You might not have the login yet, it depends, but it's good to have it just in case. So my app just looks like this. It's the Exeter app. It's really handy. Has maps on it, it has your emails, it has your timetable, it has everything you need, so definitely get the app if your university has the app, and I just recommend getting that before uni so you can kind of have a look through it and you're kind of all prepared. Also alongside that, I would say download a map of the campus and just save it to your phone. In Freshers Week I kind of forgot the feeling of being in a new place, and I did get lost after, I think it was an introduction lecture, and I was by myself and I didn't know anyone yet, and I just wandered off in the wrong direction and ended up somewhere that I didn't need to be, and I had no idea how to get back to my halls. So I was like frantically like trying to get Wi-Fi, trying to find this map so I could kind of try and work my way back. So I would recommend just downloading a map of campus beforehand, just in case. It means you've always got it, even if you can't, you know, get internet or 3G, you've got a map saved to your phone already, just in case you get lost. Another thing that I think is really important is to kind of organise your life before you go. And by this, I mostly mean, in my case, it was my laptop. So I just organised it. I put all of my old like A-level things into a separate folder, made a whole new folder for university, so it was really, really clear when I was saving things where to save them to. And alongside that, I ended up going through like all my photos and everything, just making my laptop kind of like a fresh slate, just so it was a lot easier at university, and it meant that everything was organised and I knew where everything is. The next thing I've got written down is an absolute no-brainer, and no one's gonna not do this, but it's to get all your things that you need, all your shopping, all your kitchen stuff, all your bathroom stuff, all your bedroom stuff, etc. Just make sure you've got everything you need. Obviously it's not the end of the world if you need to buy something while you're there, but it's kind of nice to have everything beforehand. I've got a video up of 10 things to take and 10 things not to take to university, which I will link down below. And if you want a video, like a more in-depth video of kind of everything to take, I'm happy to do that. If anyone wants to see that, leave that in a comment below. But yeah, I would just make sure you've got everything you need to take ready beforehand, just make sure that you don't forget anything. And also on a similar note, my final thing is to do a food shop before you go to university, either, you know, beforehand and then you drive up with it, or when you're there, when your parents are still around or whoever's driven you up, ask them to take you to a supermarket so you could do your first food shop. It just makes it a lot easier, then you can kind of relax a bit, you don't have to worry about going out and trying to find the first shop. It's definitely nice knowing that you're going to university and you're kind of set for food for the week. So if you can, I would recommend doing that. So those are a few things I recommend doing before you go to university. If any of you are going to university for the first time in September, I hope this maybe helped a little bit. I wish you the best of luck. I hope you're all really excited. And if there's any particular university videos you want to see from my channel, make sure you leave them in a comment below. Thanks for watching. Bye.